This was a jam. This was a TRL banger. Love this song.
It's not TRL?
This was a TRL, like, never got to number one, Billy. Never got to number one. It cracked the top 10, dipped in, dipped out. It was the hottest beat. Cassie can't sing worth a damn, though.
Nope.
Oh, this is a banger. What was TRL? What did it stand for again?
Total Request.
Right, live.
Live.
I watched that until it started being called TRL.
Oh.
So, like, the early
you
days.
missed out.
You're
All
that
right,
guy.
So
I watched TRL before.
No, that's just when I cut off
TRL.
MTV. I'm not saying I knew it before. I
So-
just cut off watching MTV.
in the early 2000s, actually in the late 90s, MTV revolutionized their afternoon block with Total Request and Say What. Those shows...
Say What Karaoke. That
Well,
show was dope.
it was Say What first. Those shows started gaining traction. Say What was just basically music videos with the lyrics attached to it. And I think it was afternoons into the evenings. And those shows started gaining traction. And do you remember the show 12 Angry Viewers? 12
No.
Angry Viewers was an amazing show. Do
What
you
was
remember-
that dating show with the bus?
Oh, Singled Out. Oh, no, the bus. No, Singled
Oh,
Out.
that
the
one I
bus
watched.
one?
That one I would watch
They
occasionally.
got kicked out of the
Yeah,
bus.
That was
Oh,
like
what
you
was
come
that
back from
called?
school. Oh,
The
Sounded
best
like
is
an
when they
X or
would
something,
walk
right?
in and immediately get the boot.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, that
like,
show was good.
wow,
What was that
immediately
show
judged.
called?
let's find that
You're
show. Let's find that MTV dating show that wasn't singled out. That was on the
Dave
bus.
Holmes up to?
Dave Holmes is still like Dave Holmes. I felt so bad for Dave Holmes because he lost to Jesse. It might have been next. Yes, next.
Yeah,
Yes,
next.
it
With
was
the
next.
X, like
Yes.
a different color than everything else.
So Dave Holmes lost to Jesse Camp, who was recently missing but was found. It was all a whole confusing thing, and I remember that's when I knew I was an old soul, when I got really upset that Jesse beat out Dave Holmes, because Dave Holmes was a polished professional VJ. He deserved the job.
But Jesse looked like Steven Tyler, kind of. He had that
Jesse.
vibe going.
I'm just Jesse, man. I don't know what I'm doing. And it was so stupid. So Dave Holmes lost, but Dave Holmes still has a career. In the
Yeah,
media
I don't know the other
industry.
guy.
And
I mean, is
Jesse
he still
Camp's
around?
gone missing.
Yeah.
Hats and like scarves.
So there was 12 Angry Viewers.
They found him, all right.
12 Angry Viewers was hosted by Ananda Lewis. Do you remember Ananda Lewis?
I do.
She was amazing. What a great host. She went to BET for a little bit after that. Where is Ananda Lewis? I miss all these people. Where's Caduce? Yeah, Caduce. I know Sway's still doing MTV stuff. So it was Total Request and Say What. Say What then pivoted to Say What Karaoke, which was part of the afternoon block. And that was really fun. Say What Karaoke was a good show. And Total Request became Total Request Live, which became the linchpin of the afternoon programming, after-school programming on MTV. That was the show.
I just got a text from Stugotz that says, dating show with the bus. Thought you meant Jerome Bettis.
It's a great contribution. Wish you made it on the microphone.
Ananda Lewis is a model and social activist. She was an MTV DJ until 2001. VJ, excuse me. And then she left the network to host her own broadcast syndicated television talk show, The Ananda Lewis Show.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what happened to Tabitha Soren.
Wow, that's really going back.
Tabitha Soren.
She was kind of newsy, right?
You remember Serena Alchel?
Yes.
Yeah, she would change her hair a lot. I actually saw her on CBS Sunday Morning. A lot of the 90s established VJs and serious news anchors have pivoted within Viacom's umbrella. Okay. So they just moved over to CBS, sort of like when Mo Rocca left Comedy Central and just started doing interviews on CBS Sunday Morning.
Suchin Pak.
Suchin Pak! What is Suchin Pak doing?
Suchin Pak.
Yeah, Kennedy hasn't aged a day. She does a show, I believe she's a libertarian, and she does a show on Fox Business Network that leans a little right, but she's very good on television.
That was Lisa Loeb lookalike, right?
Lisa Loeb lookalike, and let me tell you, still looks like Lisa Loeb. Who else was there? There was that John guy, John Norris. Was it John Norris with the gap in his teeth?
He would do things with his hair also.
He would do a lot of crazy things with his hair, and he would do like the post VMA shows. Man, Connolly and Tabitha Soren and Kurt Loder and John Norris. They would bring sort of levity to the proceedings, a bit of professionalism that's severely lacking in today's MTV.
Right. What?
That's what was missing.
What are you talking about?
That's what was missing from the VMAs. That and people that we've actually heard of.
Right. Oh, man. Right.
So you're one of the people who watched the entire VMAs.
I have it on my DVR. I haven't watched
I think
it.
there's no professionalism.
There's no tell me who.
Have you ever heard of Justina Valentine?
No.
Oh my
Sway. I think they still trot out Sway to be the old guard, because Sway's actually. You know how Dan always says you can't get bigger when you leave MTV. Well, MTV.
No, I do not. Many times as I've listened to this show, I've never heard him say that.
Multiple thoughts. Show's moving. When you leave ESPN, it's hard to get bigger. It's Dan Patrick is one of the few examples.
Okay.
I think Sway, even though he's never really left MTV, but MTV sort of changed their whole philosophy. Sway got bigger because he got the Kanye. He got the Kanye rub. Yeah, he's a part of the pop culture lexicon. How Sway? How Sway? So they still now Sway is a guy that brings Sway is a guy that brings the professionalism to the proceedings.
It's definitely hitting a blind spot here for me with current day MTV, but I'm listening intently.
We have that sound.
They had a show.
We got Houseway.
We have Houseway. All right.
2 clips of Kanye arguing with Sway.
Let me grab all that stuff. Do you remember Undressed? The Green Ranger was in that show. The Green/White Ranger. Yeah.
Oh, that was the scripted show?
Yeah.
You know what I saw yesterday? The, what's that, Teen Mom? I think that they added Bristol Palin to that show, and Sarah Palin is going to be, like, on Teen Mom. I saw a commercial for it, and I can't figure out if it's, like, a one-time episode or if she's, like, joining the cast of Teen Mom. That's weird, right?
No. I think if you would have asked me at the height of Sarah Palinism, where she'd end up, I would think reality show on MTV. Absolutely. I'm not even kidding.
I'm standing up and I'm telling you, I am Warhol. I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You ain't
more
got.
than me? Come on, chill out.
You
bro.
ain't got the answers.
Kanye,
You ain't got the answers.
Bro, I'm asking you.
You
a
ain't been
question.
doing the education,
bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Man, I miss that Kanye. I miss the old Kanye. Out the box, I am Warhol. I am Walt Disney. I've been doing this longer than you have.
Doing what?
Doing what?
Calm down, bro.
Being in the public eye, Sway's been doing that longer than Kanye doing radio interviews. I don't understand. We have more from Shade 45.
Calm down.
You don't have the answers though,
Calm down.
because you trying to give me advice about something. You ain't got the answer. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money
You're
trying to empower
absolutely right.
yourself.
Yes, but I spent hundreds of thousands and putting out clothing lines at a smaller degree. All I'm asking you,
And it ain't no Ralph though. It ain't Ralph
but
level.
Let me ask you this: I'm asking
What's the name of your clothing line? We don't know.
Kanye,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I lost money, but that's not
Exactly, and I could lose money on a higher level too.
And that's what
Don't
I'm
think
asking
just
you.
because don't think because I got the most or the least money.
Let me finish my question, dog.
Man, man.
Let me hear the question.
You don't have
man.
the answers.
I'm asking you for the answer. It's a question. Why is it that you can't? You have money.
I just told you I lost the money because I did not have the knowledge of how to do it the right way.
So you don't have the money to do it. That's your answer.
Man. Sway's good at this. How did Sway keep a level head? When Kanye West starts yelling at you like that, not making any sense?
I mean, but when he doesn't know how questions and answers work, it's pretty simple to trap him. It's like, you don't have the answers. I'm not asking. I'm not the one giving the answers. I'm asking you for the answers, sir.
I love Kanye.
I love Kanye. I love Sway.
That was just last year, though, right? That's not even old
no,
Kanye.
I think that's like 2 years ago. But how Sway became a thing. So Sway, because he was part of pop culture, is now bigger than his heyday at MTV. But he still does like these canned lead-ins to old. Have you seen MTV Classic?
No. Is that a whole different channel?
So I think it replaced VH1 Classic, and now MTV Classic just is the MTV that you grew up with, but it's all standard def. It's all standard def, at least on DirecTV.
So by the MTV that you grew up with, do you mean the very beginning of the reality shows? Because that's where I grew up with.
They do have some of the reality shows. I think they do Cribs, which was legendary. Punked, which was okay. That was sort of the beginning of the end. I like the Andy Dick show that was on. The Andy Dick show was hilarious on MTV. Yeah, the Andy Dick show was really funny, but it wasn't a fit. It was very weird humor. That's Andy Dick. It didn't fit MTV. Andy Dick doesn't fit MTV.
We should pitch ESPN Cribs.
No. That's a terrible idea.
Why not?
I mean, I guess I could clean up a little bit.
Wow. Is he just assuming that we're leaving off season 1?
Well,
maybe season 2.
Come on, Izzy. Come on.
I'll probably. That's whose crib?
I want to see Jeremy Schaap's pad.
I want to see Bob Lee's library.
Bob Lee's.
His study.
Can you imagine Bob Lee saying, "This is where the magic happens"?
That's where there's a desk. Yeah,
that's his library. This is where the magic happens. Who else would I want to see on ESPN Cribs? Barry Melrose.
I want to see Max Kellerman's place.
Kellerman's place. Which one? I think Kellerman's got to be bi-coastal at this point.
I think so. Yeah, he was out in L.A. before he came back to First Take, so he's got to be.
But he was raised in the Northeast. He was a New Yorker, right?
New Yorker.
Now he's moving back to New York.
Now he's moving, so he's got to be bi-coastal.
Season 1, episode 1, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
And he'd be down.
And he's hosting it himself. Doesn't need anybody else. Just barely needs any direction from the camera. And he's got it all planned out in his head.
You know what I don't understand? I don't understand why Stephen A. Smith doesn't have a bigger career in terms of voice work. I think he should be the voice of a national campaign. He could be the voice of a cartoon.
Absolutely.
But like the new iPhone. Like he should be the new voice for Apple. He's instantly recognizable.
Right.
Instantly recognizable. John Hamm got all this work because people watch Mad Men and they're like, oh, he can sell me a car. So he's going to sell you every car in every commercial and just do the Don Draper pitch.
What were you saying? On an MTV dating show, right?
How do you do voice work? How can I get into that?
No,
I want to do that. I think I have an okay voice.
You should. I think you can.
Who do I talk to? Call me. Voice people call me.
All right.
Who got their start? Was it Hardwick that got their start on Singled Out? Chris Hardwick?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he did. There was this awesome episode of Singled Out, which starred the main guy that was trying to get a date.
Wasn't there a Carmen Electra show?
Carmen Electra took over for Jenny McCarthy.
Yes, yeah.
Jenny McCarthy it was Hardwick and Jenny McCarthy, and then Carmen Electra took over for McCarthy. But Timac, the guy who was Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon, was on an episode of Singled Out. I remember that one. When I was a child actor, Timac, Bruce Leroy, would always be at my casting calls. We'd be going for, I know what you're saying because we're not usually going for the same roles. Yeah, but I would always see him around. He's the nicest guy, and I'd be like one of the only people that would recognize him because, I mean, it's a cult classic, and a lot of these people going for these roles don't really understand what's happening in front of them when Bruce Leroy shows up.
Where was the Tila Tequila show?
Oh, MTV.
Also MTV?
A Shot of Love.
No, that wasn't. Yeah, it might have been VH1.
No. It was MTV. It was A Shot of Love with Tila Tequila, and then there was a double Shot of Love. And I don't know if that was Tila Tequila or if that was when they had like twins doing it.
It was when she was trying to get. It was like
those
the whole
guys and
menage
girls.
a trois.
Yeah.
That's what happened in the second season. She was trying to.
No. Both seasons. It was.
Well, naturally.
She was bisexual, so she had women contestants and men contestants.
Was that considered kind of like just crazy? Subject over there when she
at the time,
being I don't remember how long ago it was.
At the time, it was
did it feel shocking to say, "Oh, a bisexual on a dating show"?
It was definitely. I think that's the only dating show that's been like that, right?
Yes.
It wasn't very shocking though
because it was a woman.
No, it wasn't very shocking because it was on MTV. Right. So MTV, dating back to the early 90s with The Real World, was at the forefront of introducing all these different. I know I learned a lot about people who were different than me from watching The Real World.
That's true.
Honestly, that sounds ridiculous, but I grew up in a bit of a bubble. All right. And The Real World and Road Rules and MTV. And I'm sure MTV was like that for a lot of people. People in the Midwest who found rap through MTV. It opened up so much to me when I was a little kid.
It was A Shot at Love, sorry.
What was the best bad dating show? Flavor Flav, Rock of Love with Bret Michaels.
I Love New York.
Man.
Rock of Love. Rock of Love.
I never watched Rock of Love.
You never watched Rock of Love?
No, I was not.
Did you watch I Love New York?
Of course.
You did?
Yeah, duh.
Yeah?
Of course.
Who peed on the floor? There was some. Was that
No, that was it.
Was that
Flavor of Love?
That was Flavor of Love. It was
Flavor of
Pumpkin,
Love.
I think. Was it Pumpkin?
Pumpkin. Yeah, they did the staircase
No,
shot.
someone. I thought someone pooped on the floor.
Was it?
That was it.
Roy, get to the bottom of this.
I think
did they
someone
pee or
pooped on
poop
the
on the floor?
No, it was poop.
Yeah, someone
I remember
pooped.
that.
It wasn't delicious, I don't think.
Didn't Shaq date one of those?
The poop wasn't
Women?
delicious?
No, Delicious wasn't the one who pooped on the floor. Remember, he had to give them all names because he couldn't have their real names.
One of them was
for whatever
Hoops,
reason.
right?
Yeah, Hoops, and
Yeah,
then she
yeah.
dated Shaq.
Yeah, she dated Shaq. I think she used to come to Heat games all the time.
What is Hoops doing right now? Didn't Cardi B start out? Because like VH1 is now the new MTV for all the people who used to watch MTV, and they have Love and Hip Hop and all these Love and Hip Hop spin-offs. So there's Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. There's Baller Wives. Is Baller Wives on VH1?
I don't know.
But Cardi B, didn't she get her start on one of these Love and Hip Hop shows?
I think she was on Best Moments from Love and Hip Hop New York. Like I'm seeing a video for her Best Moments.
Was Joe Budden Love and Hip Hop. So Cardi B got her start from that. Joe Budden sort of is floating around. He's treading water right now. He's still around. Joe Budden still drops some fire bars, by the way.
VH1
Remember Joe Budden?
I do.
Yeah, man. Joe Budden. Baller Wives, also on VH1. How about that? VH1. You remember when you were a little kid, you never watched VH1?
Yeah, that was for the adult contemporary music.
Who broke up?
Shaq and Hoops broke up.
Shaq and Hoops broke up?
Yeah.
And what's happening with Delicious?
I don't know. I'm on it.
Find out if Delicious is still pooping on staircases next.
I'm a squeaky toy, and I've got one job, getting chomped on by this little ankle sniffer. So pardon me for feeling inept compared to Geico, who does so much more. Like while I'm getting slobbered on, Geico is creating cool technology like their mobile app, which lets people pay their bills or file a claim. Plus, Geico is the fastest growing auto insurer for the last 10 years. Is it too much for me to ask for one more feature? Fast and friendly claim service like Geico, maybe? Oh, great. I'm getting buried again.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Don Le Batard.
Another guy writes in, can you kiss LeVar Big Baller's bleep anymore? He's a loudmouth idiot living life through his son.
Don't dare us to kiss his bleep some more, because we will.
We'll wash his balls. I don't think I did that right.
No. Stugotz.
Did you do that?
What I did there, if you really want to classify it, is identified as I made a mistake.
When did you know that you had made a mistake?
I did. Well, I would say right around where I got the looks of horror. I would say that's when I realized it. I saw it felt wrong coming out of my mouth. Let me rephrase that.
This is the Dan Le Batard show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
I have to apologize to Delicious. It was not Delicious who pooped on the floor.
Uh-oh.
It was something.
Oh.
Like that's the name of the person.
Okay.
It certainly was something. When
The name was something. How was Delicious spelled?
Delicious.
Is it normal?
Deelishis. Delicious.
So normal. Got it. What are some of the other names? Because those were pretty funny.
There's Hoops. Delicious. Thing 2.
Thing 2.
Hoops is with a Z, of course, right?
Two.
Was there a thing 1?
Is there? Yeah.
There's no thing 1, but I think this list is incomplete because I don't see Delicious on it. There's Nibbles, Nibblz, Rain, Goldie, Crazy with a K, Like That, Wire, Smiley.
Steve Goldstein was on it?
Yeah, Goldie. Miami, Myammee, Bucky, Boots, Toasty, Buckwild.
All right.
New York, obviously, she went on bigger and better.
Was she the winner or the runner-up and then got the spin-off?
I believe
Forget the
she
twist
was
on
the
that one.
runner. Yeah, Hoops won. Wow, Hoops had a nice little run on VH1 because she also won I Love Money.
Didn't Bill Maher date New York?
A person?
Is Money a person? Like, how
You don't know with MTV shows. Like, it could be a guy named Money.
Money, I think, was like the cast-offs of like the contestants of all the dating shows, and they were competing. You know what? I should know this because I remember watching I Love Money, but I can't tell you what it was about. I'm gonna look it up. Don't worry, guys.
Did you guys see Pat Riley?
Yeah. Wow.
Where was he?
He was speaking to assembled media. Where at, Izzy? You have your finger on the pulse of South Florida
Yeah,
sports.
but every time I click on the button that allows me to tell you where this was, it takes me to the Sun Sentinel homepage. So I don't know if there's something wrong with my computer, but I can't figure out exactly where it was. And
I have to apologize to Bill Maher. I don't believe he dated I don't believe he dated New York.
I Love Money, by the way, the contestants were from Flavor of Love, Charm School, I Love New York, Rock of Love, Real Chance of Love, For the Love of Ray J, Daisy of Love, Megan Wants a Millionaire, and that seems to be it. Wow, it's like an all-star game, this show.
Wow. Bill Maher dated Ariana Huffington.
There was 4 seasons.
And there were rumors that he dated Ann Coulter. Huh.
There are 4 seasons of I Love Money.
How did Riley look, Izzy?
Thanks for asking, Chris. So what I'm curious about is, okay, so he's 73 years old, right? And he's a good-looking 73-year-old man. But it's clear that he got to a point where he's just stopped dyeing his hair.
Yeah.
And it's and I know it's been going on for a while, but there was still some color to it. Now there's no color to it, and I'm wondering if it still looks like the slick. Does he go like the Silver Fox look, or is this more of a I was used to the other look, and this makes me feel like I'm getting old?
You know how Ric Flair was just always blonde, so as he gets older, you don't really notice that his hair is really white?
Mm-hmm.
He was salt and pepper for a while. In the mid-2000s, it started getting lighter and lighter. The transition has been a natural one, I think, and it's only when someone like you, Izzy, who has his finger on the pulse of South Florida and on Pat Riley's hair, points it out that I noticed, yeah, I mean, he's in his 70s. His hair is going to age. He's not a god.
Pat Riley dyes his hair?
At one point he did.
Really?
Yeah, at one point. It was very clear during the Showtime era that he was doing some touch-ups.
So it gets me to thinking, because it takes effort. Like, there's a conscious effort to say, I'm going to continuously dye my hair, right? And you do it for vanity purposes, right? You're in the public eye. You just want to look a certain way, yada, yada. Or maybe you want to look young and maybe you want to show that you still got it and all this stuff. What does it mean when he just lets it go? Like, is he just kind of letting go in general? Is this just like happy-go-lucky like Grandpa Pat Riley, and he doesn't have that edge that he did before?
I feel like you're selling him a little short. I'm looking at it. He looks fantastic still.
I'm not saying he looks bad, but to put in the effort to dye the hair is an entirely different mentality. Like, of course he still looks good.
I love that Pat Riley has a self-awareness to know that we'd be on to him if he were dyeing his hair. And it would look worse if he were dyeing his hair. In fact, I imagine, here's this for a theory. Maybe he's dyeing his hair gray.
Wow.
Yeah, just to not raise any hackles.
That's something.
Because he's an immortal god. After
What's
I just said he
raising a
wasn't.
hackle?
A hackle. I don't know exactly what a hackle is, but you can raise it. Yeah. Roy, can you find out what raising a hackle actually means?
What do you think glasses would do for Pat Riley? I don't think glasses would be good for him.
No, it wouldn't.
Because I was thinking, like, if he had glasses with the gray hair, would he have, like, a Madden thing going on? But I don't think he would.
So he said that we're definitely bringing Udonis back, and he's not sure about Wade. Is that the message that we got?
Yeah, real quick. I just Googled raising a hackle, and I've got a bunch of pictures of dogs.
Yeah, so I didn't use it properly. The hackle is like when your dog senses something that might get angry or makes him afraid.
Oh, that's when he gets the Wolverine hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to think my dog was crazy when that happened. I never noticed it.
It's a bit of a spider sense for dogs. That's what a hackle is. So I don't think I use it properly there because it certainly doesn't make me scared.
Birds have it too.
Birds have hackles too. Yeah. What does Pat Riley do here? Did you see what he said?
I did.
Because we know what the Heat have to offer. Right. It's basically the mid-level. Now, there is another option, which I really didn't think was in play, because if he can take the 5.5, why would he take, the veterans minimum? It doesn't really, the Heat are over the cap anyways. Mm-hmm. So how it affects the Miami Heat is if he takes a veterans minimum, it really costs the Heat just about 3.5 in that area. But if he takes the mid-level exception, which is more money in his pocket that the Heat would be paying him 5.5, that would cost the Heat really $14 to $15 million, which is a horse of another color.
So you figure, which is a horse hackle. Do you figure that they're trying to sell him on maybe a stake in the ownership stakes down the road, so you're not necessarily costing them as much currently?
This is a slippery slope, right? With salary cap violations and whatnot. Those conversations have had to have happened, right? but they can't directly happen because that would be a violation of the NBA salary cap rules.
I think it's the spot where Dwayne put himself when he says, if I'm going to play, it's going to be here. The Heat's saying, okay, great. We don't want it to cost us $14 million. We know what we are. So here's how we're going to play it, and we want you around forever. You're going to be part of the organization like Zoe is, even more. And so let's talk about that maybe as a hypothetical as we, because when he says we just want to give him time to breathe, it's on him. That's probably Dwayne just saying, all right, if I'm only going to get this much, I'm just going to come in whenever I want to and do it on my terms because I've done this before. I know what it takes.
Sounded like Riley was speaking code for we need to get rid of one of these other guards to get under the tax.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Is he still whale watching? Or are we done with the whale watching?
Who are the whales to watch?
I don't know.
Trades. But really, the biggest name out there on the trade market at this point is he who shall not be named, and he can't move him without taking a significant loss.
Is next summer another whale watching summer? It's not hunting because he's not getting anyone. We're just watching the whales go to other.
As Mike learned, when you go whale watching, you don't always see a whale.
You don't always see a whale.
What were the percentages they told you before you went to go see the whales that you'd see a whale?
They had a chart that said killer whales were actually excellent to see that day. They had a real hot streak of 2 consecutive weeks of everybody going out seeing killer whales, and the humpback whale was actually a more rare find. And I saw one humpback whale, as the Belgians kindly pointed out as we came back. But yeah, it was a real bummer. And now, since then, all I see are videos of Pablo Torre seeing all these amazing whales, and these whales breaching and almost hitting boats.
Yeah,
it's become a thing.
You're the Miami Heat. You
Yeah.
had a good run of catching some whales. You got yourself a Shaq. You got yourself a LeBron, a Chris Bosh. And
Just watching.
So
now you're just watching, and Pablo's the Golden State Warriors. They're just hitting them. Boogie Cousins. Bam.
But Vancouver, the whale watching tour experience that I had, since I didn't get any whales, any killer whales, they gave me a voucher that's good for a lifetime. That my next trip I can go out there for free, and that's what the Heat essentially have right now. But their voucher is for 2020, and they are guaranteed a whale in 2020.
Sure.
So there's going to be another year of this.
Yeah. Look at the free agents available.
But at one point, when we had a voucher for the Kevin Durant offseason, that voucher expired.
No,
What happened
it
there?
just got us in because, much like my whale watching experiences, I have this voucher that guarantees me for a lifetime my next trip out for free. But I have to call ahead of time and say, I can't just walk up because these tours book up.
Do you have a voucher on the Anthony Davis?
I'll be in queue, and sometimes you know what happens when you go to queue? Sometimes you don't get in.
Doesn't that feel like the only real potential whale out there?
I don't believe. I truly believe Greek Freak is staying. I mean,
Staying in Milwaukee.
Yeah, because Freezing Cold Takes is going to have a field day with this guy. I think he's going to stay in Milwaukee because he's afraid of Freezing Cold Takes. Because Antetokounmpo has been out there about how he is not going to leave to Los Angeles or Miami, how he's staying in Milwaukee, how it would be such a bad look. He's so afraid of
I don't
Freezing
think
Cold
he's the
Takes.
gettable one. I think Anthony Davis is the gettable one. I mean, last year was the best chance for him to say, all right, I'm going to build something in New Orleans. And look, and even in the playoffs, doing it without DeMarcus to the second round, and then everybody leaves him. And now you know he's going to be frustrated as all get out, and he's going to be sold on that one thing. Hey, let's see if we can make magic happen with a guy who's done it before.
Here's my whale nominee, all right? And it's not Anthony Davis.
Ooh.
It's Kyrie Irving.
Is he a whale?
Really?
It's Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is
It's like
absolutely
a really
a whale.
speedy, small.
He's like a marlin.
No, Kyrie Irving is absolutely a whale. He's on the cover of an NBA 2K. That makes you a whale.
Why do you think he's gettable?
Because he loves Miami. He hasn't committed to this to Boston long term. He won't even have these discussions. He seems pretty hell bent on becoming a free agent and going through that process. People have been out on boats, and Kyrie Irving's just out there. He's in Miami a lot. And the Duke relationship. Have you heard? Have you? It's about time one of these Duke relationships go well for us. Okay.
That's the best argument you've got, because so far I'm thinking he's going to be a Knick regardless.
Why do you think he's going to be a Knick?
Because isn't he from Jersey?
So what?
And he's almost like the new age New York City point guard with all those handles. I think it's a perfect stage for him. Like I think he really likes to be, as much as he likes to play off the idea of, not being in the spotlight and stuff. I really think he likes to be in the spotlight. Why else would he leave LeBron, right? He wants his own show, and I think the Knicks is a show every night if he's on it.
Let me keep it 100 with you.
I feel like you guys are going whale watching in a lake.
I've spoken to people. All right? Spoken to people around Kyrie. I've spoken to people who've spoken to Kyrie directly.
Wow. What?
Kyrie loves Miami.
I've been both around Kyrie and spoken to him directly.
Miami.
Yeah.
Miami. Hey.
You know he loves Miami then, Izzy. You have your finger on the pulse of Kyrie Irving.
Don't a lot of people love Miami? It's just a fun place to
every
be.
weekend, and he doesn't sign here.
He's going to speak to the Miami Heat if he's a free agent.
Yeah.
That's a given.
Whale watching.
That's a given. We have this voucher, and we get to show up in queue. And Danny Ainge, here's the trouble. Danny Ainge and the Miami Heat doing business. That's a bit of a long shot. But Danny Ainge has shown to be an aggressive general manager, and he might make a trade if he realizes that, hey, Kyrie Irving's just going to leave me.
Man, you used to be so much more assertive with these. Like, it's hard for you to even
after
sell this.
the last few years I've gone out to see a whale. I haven't seen a whale.
How about the Kentucky connection? Pat Riley, Anthony Davis.
I forget about the Kentucky connection. That's right. He was in that. He was on that racist team that played against like the progressive team.
Right. Part of the only reason we have Dwayne here is because he played and got that triple-double, I think, against Kentucky.
By the way,
in the NCAA.
I don't mean to characterize the team as the racist team, but there's that Glory Road movie where they convince you essentially that everyone that isn't West Texas is just racist.
Yeah.
Shout out UTEP now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
West Texas, UTEP. Texas two-step.
Tim Hardaway. It all comes full circle.
Hey.
Don Le Batard. Is The Undertaker the best name in the history of wrestling? 66% of the audience said yes.
No, you're just wrong, man. It's a monsoon of gorillas.
Stugotz.
It's not just a monsoon. It's not just a gorilla. It's a monsoon of gorillas. How could there be a better name than Gorilla Monsoon? Like, how could you people be so wrong about this? What is the matter with you people? The Undertaker cannot be a better name than Gorilla Monsoon. A monsoon, not a tsunami, not a storm, not a thunderclap. A damn monsoon of gorillas.
It's a haystack of Calhouns.
Wow.
Not as impressive as a monsoon of gorillas.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
Boys, big day in the Stugotz household today. Sad day.
Morning, Stu.
Morning.
Does it have anything to do with the sentence that I just heard Billy say?
Perhaps.
The sentence was, if I know anything about your daughters, what should he know about your daughters?
Well, I think we were talking about Ultra yesterday, the music fest, and why I keep moving further and further away from Miami is because I do not want my kids going to Ultra Fest. And Guillermo is 100% right when he says, my one daughter, Emma, will never attend that event. Ever. Rachel, on the other hand, not only will she attend, she'll attend without telling me, and she will own that place. Like, she will embrace all of Ultra because Rachel, bad apple.
You don't want to embrace all of Ultra.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
When you embrace all of Ultra, it ends with you making out with a tree.
Well, correct. But Guillermo
dead.
After you've peed on it.
Guillermo gave me a good suggestion. Just tell Rachel that what was your suggestion?
Well, this is what you do. You tell Rachel, listen, Rachel, of course you can go to Ultra. I'd love it. I want to go to Ultra. Let's go together. I'll buy you the tickets. I'll buy you the weekend pass. And then you go with Rachel to Ultra, and then she's not going to want to go there.
Right. Well, she'll tell me she doesn't want to go there, but she'll still end up going there just without me. That's my fear. But if I move far up north, like if I'm up north enough, maybe Jacksonville, Tallahassee, that area. Right now, I'm just south of Jacksonville. Perhaps you won't want to make the drive. Are there Ultra Fests in Jacksonville? Anywhere else?
I have another idea.
You know what there are in Miami? Hotels.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to drive home.
I have another idea, Stugotz.
She will.
What if you and Abby, every year, for the next 3 years, go to Ultra? So then when she's the age to go to Ultra, she's like, that's lame. My parents go to it every year. So you guys have to go every year and make it seem like something she'd never want to go to because her parents go to that every year.
I met Abby. I feel like she'll love it.
Yes. Can we at least tell her that we're going to Ultra, but we'll really do what Abby wants to do, which is go to a nice hotel, a little spa, and Joe Stonecrab?
Yeah, look, this is what you need to do. You need to go. You don't even really need the ticket. She won't know. Just make sure you're down in Miami you have to set. I don't know if Abby has like an Instagram. So what you do is you guys dress up like you're going to Ultra. You wear like the neon like tank tops, and like Abby can wear like the like the ballerina like tie dye skirt and like loud clothes that you'd wear to Ultra, and then you just take pictures like outside by like the fence that says Ultra, and then you go off to like a nice dinner. You're in bed by 8:30.
So how do you play? I'm on it. It's a good idea. I mean, this year,
look, every year for like the next 3 years, you do this, and then by the time that Rachel is interested in going to Ultra, she's like, I can't go to Ultra because my parents will be there. So you need to actually keep it up while she's here. You need to be like, oh, Rachel, you get your tickets yet? Me and Mom got our tickets.
I mean,
3-day pass.
It's a long con. I mean, you faked an entire career that way. I mean, you're pretty good at this.
I am. Yes, my entire
No,
life.
I was talking about Billy. Billy with the construction career.
Me too, though. Anyway,
Ultra's 18 and over.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Mike, you get in there with a library card. Are you kidding me? 18 and over.
Izzy,
What are you talking about?
you are so in trouble tomorrow. I went to the store yesterday and I picked out a fresh new fit.
Oh my!
Did you?
Fresh new fit.
And he was texting me all about it, Izzy.
I picked out a fresh new driver.
Oh, really?
Did you really?
I did.
Wow.
And I chose my short color, my short pants color.
I'm ready to announce something right now because Stugotz took great offense to this when I went to his course last time. I will not be wearing long pants.
Yeah, good call.
Not be. It's hot out there.
I didn't take offense to it. It was the long pants in the middle of July. I mean, and they were black.
Yeah,
I mean,
I will not be wearing long pants. That would be absurd. But I did find a fire long sleeve button down, and this thing makes me look great.
Button down?
Yeah.
Are we going to church after?
It's a button down, but it's like midway. You know, the sun, as we've covered on this local hour, is a deadly, deadly force.
Yes.
It gives us life, but it also brings death upon us. So you're going to want to wear long sleeve with the climate control.
You're playing golf, man.
Wearing a black long sleeve.
Oh, you're going to kill yourself.
Wearing a black long sleeve, neon pink shorts.
Nice.
That's right. I am paying tribute to the late Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I'm going full Heart Foundation on your asses.
Drink plenty of water.
I'm leaving everyone's name at the security gate except for yours.
Stop the guy with the pink shorts. Kick him off.
Yes.
He's a danger.
Pink shorts and a long sleeve shirt.
A long sleeve black button down.
Just long sleeve and shorts don't go together.
I've already won that contest.
Yeah.
No,
I'm excited now. Now I want to outgolf you.
Wait till you see this.
What
And
socks are you wearing?
White belt. I'm wearing short black ankle socks.
Are you
wouldn't even see
tucking
them.
in?
Lost your mind.
No. I did the tucking in thing the last time. I look better with it tucked out. Stugotz went tucked out. I'm going tucked out.
How much time did you spend in front of the mirror last night?
Last night?
Or over the course of the week?
Oh, I was at the shop for about 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Trying on hats, shirt combos. Here's the problem with golf shirts.
Right. What?
Here's the problem with golf shirts.
Okay.
And someone needs to get on this. Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. My nipples are a total disaster.
That's a
in
you
golf
problem,
shirts.
not a shirt problem.
You know what? You know whose nipples are mostly disasters?
Who's that, Mike?
Most American golfers.
I can relate.
It's a nipple disaster
Is
sport.
it a chafing thing? Is it just
No.
a poking through thing?
No, look, I've recently lost 25 pounds. I'm proud of my body.
Yeah.
I look better with a shirt off than I do with a shirt on because all you see are my nipples. It makes it seem like my boobs are ginormous, okay? Someone needs to come out. There's all the sorts
Is
of
it the
technological
material?
advances. Yes, it's a material. It's a material. And it's the nipples. It's a nipple. It's a nipple.
Blame it on the material.
You know what?
It's an 80-20.
There's a lot of people with my nipple condition, okay? There's a lot of people with my nipple condition that take care of themselves.
Does it have a name?
I don't know. Bad nipples. Pepperoni nips.
Are you like me? Like when it's a little cold out, not a problem.
Not a problem.
Just when it's hot out, man.
Not
it's the
a
worst.
problem. And when I first put a shirt on, it's also not a problem because the nipples get a little hard because the new shirt is going on. So I make the mistake of looking in the mirror as soon as I put my shirt on. I'm like, yeah, the nipples look fine in that. And then I look in the mirror 5 seconds later. I'm like, whoa. So when I go to try shirts on, I make sure to rub them a little bit. I'm like, get mid-season form nipples. Right? Mid-season form. And then I put the shirt on, and I do it again, and then I see, okay, I can't wear this shirt. I can't buy this shirt because my nipples are a disaster. Which is why I ended up with the only shirt that my nipples looked good in, a black long sleeve for the peak summertime.
Now it makes so much more sense.
You should have
He didn't
surgery.
just go pick the hot button-down long sleeve shirt. He went with the one that covered his nipples the best.
Yep. And I've considered
reconstruction.
I've considered because I'm super self-conscious about it. Yeah.
No, this
a
is
nipple
a
reduction.
Reconstruction.
A nipple reduction. Can't you just put a little Band-Aid on those things?
Exactly.
But
You
then
really
you'll-
considered this?
Yeah, because it's embarrassing. It makes me look like a fat boy.
You should get pedals.
What's that
What's
going to
pedals?
look like?
The pedals, like, you guys don't know what pedals are?
No.
You put it on, so like you don't need to wear a bra. You just put the pedals on, and then you don't get like nippleitis. Can you say that? I said it.
Victoria's Secret. I get the pedals.
No, you can get it anywhere. You can get it like at Target. You can get them anywhere. Yeah, they're basically pasties.
They're not for men, though.
Well,
Where
no,
in
but
Target do you get them?
How do you know so much about this?
He worked at Victoria's Secret.
I used to work at Victoria's Secret,
right.
and my girlfriend sent me, fiance sent me to go get some for like a dress that she was wearing one time at Target. They didn't have it. It was kind of awkward because I was there by myself looking for these things, and then I failed. I didn't find them.
Did you ask?
You don't think I can make a boatload of money with a marketing campaign that's just aimed at golfers? Fellas, I know you like all these high-tech shirts that keep you cool out there, but what's the main drawback? That's right, your nipples. All this technology that keeps you cool, I've spent all that money to make sure your nipples look fire.
Ooh, they could be flames.
Instead of pedals, they could be like flames.
So you watch... The only nipples I've ever actually noticed in professional golf are Phil's. And I didn't think that had anything to do with anything other than that's just the way he's shaped.
Is that recently or you've
No,
noticed
a while back.
Yeah.
A while back.
Like back in his 20s. Yeah.
And so I don't really know that
John
that's a
Daly,
common
too.
thing.
Some nipples there. Yeah.
They exist. They exist for men. They're called Mr. Nipple. Hide and protect care. Men's nipple hide and care system.
Mr. Nipple?
Mr. Nipple.
Can they overnight it?
Mr. Nipple.
Yeah, it's got to be faster than overnight. We're on the course at, 8 a.m.?
Wow, this is actually a pretty good deal.
It has 4 stars on Amazon.
50 pair, 100 pieces.
How many nipples
Mike,
do
you
you
want to go
have?
halves?
Yeah, let's do this. I'm not sure the skin tone matches me.
Can you get the extra
That
large?
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Unless you're wearing white, it shouldn't matter.
I'm gonna look ridiculous when I put these on my nipples.
No.
But I'm gonna have all the confidence in the world. Yeah. I shrink. I physically shrink. You guys make light of this, but it's
Not making light of this. I'm super curious about it. Like, does it hurt or just a looks thing?
I mean, it can hurt.
It can.
I went to the Pacific Northwest. I did a lot of walking, a lot of breeze brushing up against these bad boys, and there was some chafage.
Sorry, Izzy, that we don't all have perfect bodies like you. All right, some
know
of
what?
us have to worry about this stuff.
There are these
I'm
really,
super intrigued.
there are these really.
Izzy's worked hard for that body, though. We've
I've
done
been
nothing.
working on nipple shrinking since I was 12.
Do you guys shave your chest?
No, I'm naturally kind of hairless.
I do shave my.
Well, that's the problem. You should have the hair to kind of hide the nipples.
No, there's a nice sweet spot in the middle that I just grew out of because sometimes it gets too long and then it actually makes it look worse. See, the problem is there's some bigger guys. Bob Wiley's a big guy, the offensive line coach for the Cleveland Browns, but he's got nice nipples. He's got, as long as you have the pointy part, as long as you've got the pointy part, you're good. I don't have the pointy part. The pointy part goes in on my nipples.
The pointy part's a good thing?
Yeah, the pointy
Izzy, he's
part's
so
fine.
right about this.
He is right
The
about
problem where your body looks
Put
like
it
you
on
don't
the
take
poll,
care of
please.
yourself
Is the pointy part a good thing?
Yeah. Where it doesn't look. I'll show you right now. Right. Well, it's a little excited right now
I
because
can't
I just
see
touched it.
anything.
But like that part normally
It is
goes,
very excited right now. Woof.
yeah, that part normally goes in, and it just changes like that center, that nipple. It, like
So
when it's
your
out-
problem's more areola.
No, I mean, look, that's a pretty hefty size.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
an
Here, turn
that's
this way.
an
Turn this way.
areola.
Here we
Let me
go.
see.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, see, look, this one. The right one's not so excited.
You shave your chest? You're pretty hairy.
I need to shave again.
How much time do you spend
Don't
shaving?
shave. It looks good like that.
You
Don't
should
shave.
trim. You should trim, not shave.
No, trimming you can't get right. Then there are all sorts of.
That's a nice amount of hair. That's not too much. That's
That's
fine.
a good. That's good hair.
Check back next week though. It's going to be monstrous.
You don't want to shave. That's not going to look natural.
I shaved, believe it or not, 2.5 weeks ago. Wow. That's 2.5 weeks of growth.
Nice.
2.5 weeks of growth.
Did you have that one time where it was like really itchy and just kind of stuck to your shirts?
I've learned. I've learned what shirts do that. So I avoid those shirts.
Because I only have like a little bit of hair, like, and it's right around the nipple area. And if I ever just kind of shave it, and then it's really aggravating.
Let's see what you're talking about. Lift up
Yeah,
your
show
shirt.
us. Stand up.
It's very. It's
Go it
just a
off.
little
Go
bit,
ahead.
right? Yeah.
You are jacked.
That is a quality nipple.
Yeah, it really
Is this a cheat week for you? What's going on with you?
No, I mean, yeah, it's been not really a cheat week, but it's been a sloppy week.
I think that the chest hair, I think, is a good look. I think you should keep the chest hair, but for Mr. Nipple, what you should do is you should shave right around the nipple, because you don't want to put Mr. Nipple on your nipple with hair, because then it'll rip it off. So what you should do is you should just shave little circles around your nipples, and then put Mr. Nipple on, and then keep the rest of the chest hair. I think that would be the best play here.
Guys, I'm doing this. I'm buying a green foam cowboy hat, oversized, 24-gallon.
The green one, that was the expensive one.
Yeah, I'm going to do that because
$32, Mr. Nipples, or no?
And Mr. Nipples,
and you're going to wear that to golf instead. Just the head and the nipples.
Mr. Nipple is not going to be here in time. Unless there are places over the counter in Miami that sell Mr.
There
Nipple.
has to be. I think there is, actually.
If so, alert me, please. Get up in these Menchies. I need these Mr. Nipples. It's a confidence problem. Really, it is. And it's because the nipple goes in, not out.
Who's worked harder on their bodies, Israel or me and Fat Chris? Because I put a lot of work into this thing.
What the hell kind of question was that?
No, I mean, I have.
Like the two of you combined in your life, have you worked out as much as him?
No, meaning I've worked on my body for all the wrong reasons. I mean, there's a lot of drinking, a lot of eating, a lot of chicken parms that have gone into this body. And what has Izzy done?
It's a good point. I have one thought. I think they have Mr.